Hey, this is the results of Battle of Britain. Let me get them for you guys. So Battle of Britain was last weekend, and I did a meta video already, and if you want to go yourself and check out lists, link will be in the description. The event was hosted by Juggernaut Wargaming in the UK Games Expo near Birmingham. It was 1250 points. Half the points had to be spent on your rifle platoon, so 650 points, which is quite a lot of points in a rifle platoon. It was 5 games and it had 18 players. Originally there were 20 odd players, but a few had to drop out due to other reasons. These are the results. So the top 5 was Alex Bondags, Phil Crowcroft, James Bide Thomas, Alan Wells, and Martin Knowles. All well-known names, except maybe for me, James, who was not someone on my radar. Alex had his 16 authorized Polish Lancers and Tankettes. I had predicted that he would come in the top, and I had actually rated his list and him as a player as the best list and the best player at the event. So I guessed the first one right, but the rest of my guesses were like off. Daniel and Michael dropped out. I had Mark Mark Gray. He came 7th. I had him in my top 5 as well. I had Chris S as well in my top 5. He came 17th. So, maybe not that great. But it is what it is. Phil, he came 2nd with 19 authorized Brits. Triple forward artillery observer, mech, and then a bunch of mortars, different mortars. Really tough list, especially if you get tables where you're in cover but you can see everything. Then it's difficult to play against that list. But I think I had expected there to be more terrain on the tables, and thus Phil's list may not have been as effectful, but it clearly was. And he is possibly a very good player as well. James, 20 order dice, leaf blower Brits. Again, leaf blowing Brits, apparently something that was very, very common here in the top brackets. And then Alan Wells. Alan, I have to tip my hat to you. Yes, you done it. You came top with your Japanese again. And I think you have the correct way of building and running your Japanese. 16 order dice, it's vets and tankettes. I think that's the way to run Japanese right now if you want to do well at home as well. But I also think that it's something where it takes a lot of practice. Alan obviously has that practice. Martin Knowles, he came 5th with his 14 order dice US, which was infantry and double heavy tanks, so Death Stars. My main takeaways from Battle of Britain is that British observers are still A tier for as long as they last, until the Brit book comes out. Leaf blowers can work. We shall see why they work, if it's a matter of player skill or player tactics or if it's tables, but they can work. Mechanized is always good. It's what we've seen in every single tournament so far. Mechanized does well every bloody where. Japan can work, but it's, again, I will argue that it's not something that we're seeing a lot of players do and do well. So I had a little bit of a discussion with Martin. Not much of a discussion. I'm not a lot on Discord, but I do chat sometimes, and I do sometimes read stuff. And I know that people have rightly mocked me for saying Japan can't work, and I'm really not seeing it that much, but there are certain players who can make it work. Take it as a compliment, Alan. We're also seeing that Death Stars can work. There was a little bit for me of an oh shit moment when the English WTC team failed to make their Death Starry low orderized lists work, but we're still seeing that people can do this. We've seen this in other tournaments as well. Death Stars can work. It's a matter of what missions you get and what opponents you get and what tables you get and whether or not you train enough with it. So I think there's a potential there for having a new and interesting army build in our list of possible army builds. So thank you so much, Spurley, for sending me all the info, and link to the lists is in the description. I will see you next time. Cheers.